it's Ray and I'm with the Buzz. And of course, we are social distancing. And this week we have the awesome winner of this week's episodes of Songland, and that is Raquel Castro. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. How do you feel? Of course, that's the first question.
I'm still like living in a dream right now. I'm just like floating around. It's crazy. I was up so late last night, just like talking to so many people and connecting with just everybody, and it's just wild. I didn't get to hear the song until yesterday, so
Really?
I was just as surprised like to hear the final product, which was amazing to me. And H.E.R just killed it, and I was just like, I started crying the moment I heard her play it at the end of the episode. Tears are just falling down my face.
Amazing. Okay, take me through this process. Take me from, kind of where you started out, coming onto this show, just your passion for songwriting and music.
Oh man. So growing up, I was just always entertaining and singing. My father is a singer himself, and my parents actually were songwriting together when they first met. So I was always surrounded by it, and then I would watch like Grease and Annie, and I would just want to do everything that they were doing. And then I saw Selena for the first time when I want to say like 4 years old. And I think I just remember I was just glued to the TV. And yeah, I love music. It's such a huge part of me. I started songwriting when I was about 16 years old, and that was after my experience on The Voice on NBC. So that was like my first big step into the music industry, because it's always been acting for me growing up. And after The Voice, I just remember like, I'm sorry, my dog is running around everywhere. This is my dog. After The Voice is when I started songwriting, and it was just everything to me. And I started writing for myself, honestly. And then I started working with like independent artists, and I just fell in love with just songwriting in general. I wanted to write for people. I loved not only telling my story, but telling other people's stories. So it was just so cool. And then to have this come full circle, really, from NBC The Voice to now NBC Songland, it's just amazing.
So when you first, came up with the concept for this song, did you have someone in mind? Were you thinking about anybody? What was the inspiration behind this particular winning song?
So Wrong Places, I wrote last year when I was living in Los Angeles, and I was just kind of like on the internet, like trying to get inspired. I was by myself, and it was a really weird place in my life, just because I had just gone through a breakup, and I went to Los Angeles to kind of cope with that and, just find myself again. And I think it's just very relatable because of that. I literally I felt lonely. I wanted somebody in my life. I wanted to find love again. And this song really helped me figure that out in my head, because when you're in Los Angeles, I was 24, and like you're going out, and you think you're going to meet your husband, when you're going out, you get all dressed up and pretty, but then you kind of come home and you're just like, this just isn't cutting it for me. Like, this is not what I want. I want the real thing. And I realized, I'm like, I'm looking for love in all of the wrong places. And this is, it helped me kind of just like wake up from this thought process that I was going through.
I think in every episode, there's something about this song that just kind of, kind of punches me in the face, if you will. And I think last week it was the rhythm. This week it was definitely the lyrics. I mean, obviously the melody too, but the lyrics were just so powerful. I noticed that H.E.R did not do a music video for this song. Is that because of the coronavirus? Like, why was that happening?
I would say so. Just because of everything going on, it was kind of hard to even collaborate on anything. And I think though, because when I listened to her acoustic version, and I feel like stripped down, it's just so beautiful, and it really just hits you in different spots. Like, and I always like to say, and I said it on the show at some point, when you're sad, you hear the lyrics, and when you're happy, you hear the music. And I feel like this song is such a good balance of both, because you could be in a great mood and you're just like listening to this, and the track that she released, it just has such a head bob to it. And but when she stripped it down like that, it was just so beautiful. So I was happy. Honestly, it felt more organic and it felt more personal the way that she did the music video. So I was really happy with that.
Besides her, on your bucket list to work with, who are you writing for? Do you have people in mind when you write, or is it more just this is what's in my soul and it just comes out?
I think it's more of a challenge when you have somebody in mind that you want to write for. I feel like the pressure is on. So for me, it's always just been, I've written how I felt, and I've always been open-minded whether I was going to keep it for me as an artist or I was going to, you know, pitch it to anybody that I could. And at this place that I'm in right now, I love the songwriting process, and I want to be a songwriter. I think that's where my heart and soul is, and you know, telling a story, but also sharing it with other people. And I think you could see that on last night's episode, where we took a song that I wrote in my bedroom and her made it hers, and it just hits you harder, and now it makes the story just so much more universal. A bucket list for me, oh my gosh, I feel like I have so many. I love the artist Alina Baraz. She has this really cool like R&B, urban, sultry sound. I love Billie Eilish. She's like one of my favorites. When her first EP came out, like I had that on repeat for weeks. And John Bellion he's a writer, producer, artist himself, and he's actually from Long Island, New York, where I'm from. He's definitely on the top of the list for people that I want to collaborate with. And I have this thing, I'm going to put it into the universe because I played her daughter when I was a little girl. I would love to write a song with Jennifer Lopez. And if that ever happened, that would be, my life would be complete.
Okay, so J-Lo can do no wrong in my opinion. And I was actually going to ask you, what was it like on the set of Jersey Girl? Do you remember all of that? Like, what was it like?
Jersey Girl was just such a surreal moment in my life. I could never, like, I have home videos from it that I'll watch from time to time, but the experience was just like no other. They really, really treated me so well on that set. The cast, the crew, Ben Affleck was amazing. Liv Tyler was incredible. And I got to meet one of my biggest inspirations, which is Jennifer Lopez. Because once I saw her in Selena, that was it for me. Like, I had posters all over my room. So I feel like in some way I manifested that to happen as a young child because I was just so obsessed with her. And it was just such an incredible experience. And I feel like that whole opportunity shaped me into the person that I am today. I mean, it was such a success for me when I was young because they sent me to do out all of the talk shows, and there was a lot of drama surrounding the film with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez going through a breakup and all of that. So, you know, they sent me to London and Japan, and I got to do Ellen DeGeneres when I was 9 years old. So looking back on it, I'm just like, I have more anxiety now. I'm 25. I don't know how I did it when I was 9 years old, but it was just an incredible experience. I was so blessed.
Yeah. I think when we're kids, we don't even think about it, but those were the good old days of pure celebrity gossip, and you just got to go into the kind of and do your thing. That is so awesome. And then of course it prepped you for today. Now, I was looking through the comments on Instagram last night after the episode with people just loving the music, loving the song, and suggesting artists for you. And one of the ones I saw pop up a couple of times was actually Demi Lovato. Is that someone that you would write a song for? Everybody was like, they actually said that they could hear Demi Lovato singing that song too, which made me think that maybe you have some music for her somewhere that you would pull out.
I definitely can whip something up for Demi. I love Demi Lovato. I love her story. I think she's just such a real and raw person, and I think that comes out in her music, and that's exactly what I like to write about. I actually have a few songs that I've written that subconsciously in the back of my mind, I'm like, I can totally hear someone like Demi Lovato singing this. And a couple of my friends in Los Angeles have actually worked with her, so it's not too far out, actually. So we'll put that into the universe as well.
Well, it looks like you're the master of kind of manifesting things. So I made you say it out loud. So in like 2 years, we'll do this again.
I'm going to go write it down.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's been great having you. I wish you all of the success in the world. The song is amazing, and I continue to look forward to your presence online and your presence in music.
Thank you so much, Ray. Karma says thank you as well. Hi, my name is Raquel Castro, and you've just been buzzed.